Hello everyone, I hope you're enjoying Laughter Week. Today I hope to shine a light on two people who brought joy and laughter to millions and who considered Blackpool their spiritual home. Eric Morecambe and Ernie Wise were a British comedy double act who achieved worldwide fame and who performed together for over 40 years. Eric and Ernie first met in 1940 when they were young performers appearing in a touring show, Youth Takes a Bow, produced by Jack Hilton. This show visited Blackpool's Palace Theatre for a week in June 1940. Here is the advert for the show in the West Lancashire Gazette. The show featured 12 young performers aged between 13 and 19, including Ernie Wise and Eric under his real name, Eric Bartholomew. At this point, they were separate acts. Ernie was a comedian, singer and dancer from Yorkshire, and Eric was a comedian from Lancashire. During the tour, Eric and Ernie became firm friends, and Eric's mum, Sadie, saw the potential in them becoming a comedy double act. Problem was, nobody liked the name Bartholomew and Wise. Then, in Nottingham, a discussion with the American-born jazz singer Adelaide Hall and her husband and manager Bertram Hicks led to Eric calling himself Morecambe, after his hometown. And so, in 1941, Morecambe and Wise were born. Sadly, the Second World War interrupted their careers, but after national service, they reunited in 1946. They started touring variety theatres again and slowly worked their way up in show business. 1953 saw their return to Blackpool for their first summer season at the Winter Gardens Pavilion Theatre. This time, third on the bill in Something to Sing About, alongside American actor and singer Alan Jones and comedian Ken Platt. Eric and Ernie certainly got something to sing about in Blackpool that year. Not only did the audiences love them, they also received a very special visitor backstage. Ronnie Waldman of BBC Light Entertainment arrived at their dressing room with an offer of a television series of their own. Morecambe and Wise were amongst the first Northern comedians to get offered a regular series, and also at 27 and 28 amongst the youngest. That's incredible. But what seems incredible now is that first TV series was a flop. Fortunately, their initial failure on TV did not stop them enjoying continued success on the stage. In 1954, they were back in Blackpool for a week at the Palace and then another week at the Queen's Theatre. Then in 1955, they were booked for their second Blackpool summer season, this time by Blackpool producer Peter Webster at Central Pier. Here they appeared alongside a bright young Liverpool comedian called Ken Dodd. Eric recalled in his autobiography how millions came to Blackpool in the 1950s, and he could sustain more live shows than any other resort in Britain. He remembered how, on a fine day, you could see our audiences all at once. You merely had to stand on a pier and look down on the sands in either direction. 1955 also saw them appear in one of the most important ever shows in Blackpool's showbiz history, the 1955 Royal Variety Performance, the first to be held in Blackpool. This star-studded opera house show, in the presence of Her Majesty the Queen, was produced by none other than Jack Hilton, who had booked Eric and Ernie in Youth Takes a Bow 15 years earlier. 2 more Blackpool summer seasons followed, and Eric and Ernie got another shot at TV. 1963 was probably their greatest year in show business. The third series of the Morecambe and Wise show came second in the TV ratings, beaten only by a new soap opera called Coronation Street. They also received their first BAFTA, the first of 6. The Guild of TV Producers and Directors also voted them TV Light Entertainment Personalities of the Year. They also came to Blackpool again for their 5th Blackpool summer season, this time at North Pier Theatre for the famous producer Bernard Delfont. They were now the highest paid double act in the country. Their sixth and final Blackpool season followed in 1965 at the ABC Theatre in a show named after the now famous TV show, The Morecambe and Wise Show. They also appeared in the hit TV show Blackpool Night Out that was recorded at the ABC in Blackpool in the 1960s. Their final ever Blackpool show was at the Winter Gardens Opera House on the 23rd of October 1976. In total, Morecambe and Wise appeared in front of Blackpool audiences over 1,500 times. No wonder it was their spiritual home. I hope you enjoyed my short talk on Morecambe and Wise. Why not check out some clips of them online? And when you're next in Blackpool, don't forget to visit the statue of Eric and Ernie in the Winter Gardens. And when you're there, do a little skip or pose.